Hey friends, I haven't done one of these in a while. It is nice to be here, and I'm just going to envision you being on the couch across from me. This is my office. There you are. I wish you were there. Anyway, I had a client sitting there yesterday, and she's younger. She just graduated from college, and she was sharing with me something that I just was thinking about this morning. She had two moments where, like, one, she was at like the bar. This is a very like balanced woman. This is a woman who is like college athlete and incredible student and like pursuing and doing like all the things, but also like super enjoying the college experience, as many of us did. And so she was sharing with me that like she was at the bar and she had ordered a gin and tonic and she was like, oh, like I don't know if she was frustrated. I think, like, to be honest, I think her mindset went to like the calories in the drink. Um, and there was just like a moment she's like, what am I doing? Like this feels like it's like going against all the things I'm working for right now. And the work that she and I were doing together was like fueling her as a student athlete and looking at her relationship to all of those things. It can be very tough being in a sport. I won't mention what sport she's in just to kind of like try to keep some of this from whatever. But it was an aesthetic sport, and so yeah, we were working on several different things, but she was seeing that like this drinking thing was like not in line with her like overall values. And that conversation came up again in another setting where she was like, "Ugh, all this drinking, all this partying just can't be that great for me and whatever." But then very quickly, like her very next thought was, "But it's college. Like this is the last couple of times that I'm going to be doing this in this way and whatever." So it was a very quick like justification, and that's all perfect and that's all good, and there's like nothing wrong with any of that. But what I was kind of reflecting on this morning as I was thinking about that conversation with her was, I think that that's something that we all kind of tend to do, right? Like we have a deeper sort of insight that something that we're doing is not it. And many of you all here in this community have already felt that and done something related to that. And, maybe you're drinking less, you're not drinking at all, whatever. Because there was something there that just said, yeah, this is not in line anymore. But then there's those times with other things that we can quickly just so immediately justify and so immediately come in and soothe whatever discomfort was there with that question. Um, and some of the work that I've been doing lately that I think has been really helpful is not letting those like quick thoughts that have come through just get by without me questioning them. And I spoke about that this week in my Here in Human Wellness Substack related to running. Um, I basically had a run a couple weeks ago and it wasn't going well, and I got like really frustrated with the situation, and it had me looking at why I was so attached to needing to get that run done. What was that about? And it got pretty deep pretty fast. A lot of dominoes fell. Seeing myself still kind of using running even after all of these years. I mean, my relationship to running has changed so much. My relationship to movement has changed so much. It's light, it's free, but it wasn't completely free. There was still a little cage somewhere, or I wouldn't have been upset that that run couldn't have happened. It would have been like, oh, well, no big deal. I'll just walk, right? But there was something there that was more, that was holding me in a cage of no, this needs to happen. So questioning that with why is this so important to me? What am I protecting? And as those questions started to come, I saw things like protecting body image, protecting the image of being a healthy person who coaches people in wellness. This identity that has been present for a very long time and really not helpful, really shows up in ways in my life that I end up kind of being micromanaged by this identity and these sort of false beliefs, really. Um, I was thinking like, oh, should I give you a list of questions to ask? Like, are there things that I should point you to? I don't know. I think that my first recommendation would be that if you are in your day and you find that like it's a reoccurring thought that feels stressful or that just brings up any kind of suffering, that is really worth questioning and looking at. And that not letting that get away so easily, not letting that continue to create a story about you, but to really look at it. And I think that if you needed some help with coming up with questions, I really do love, and I might have mentioned her work before, but the work of Byron Katie. Byron Katie, I don't, I've listened. She's kind of a nutty woman, but she's been on like Oprah and like all these places or whatever. And I don't even know how I would describe her. Spiritual coach. I don't know. But anyway, she came up with something called the four questions. I do think I might have talked about these before, but basically, in short, they're getting you to challenge thought. And she also, if you go to her website, and it's Byron, and I think it's Katie with a K. Um, but if you go to her website, she also has some like PDFs and worksheets that you can download. One of them is called Judging Thy Neighbor or something. It's pretty good. It's very helpful. I remember when I first learned about those, going through those worksheets several times and getting quite a few aha moments. So, so yeah, I think that that is a great place to start if any of what I am saying resonates with you. Because the work of giving up alcohol or drinking less or working on our relationship to alcohol, like that's not really the end of this. Sometimes that's the beginning of the work, that sometimes that's the beginning of something that launches off into more curiosity and more discussion. And it can be an opportunity to have so much clarity because you have such more opportunity for a clear mind. So yeah, so that's really what I was hoping to share today with you all. As you sit across from me, we have this conversation. Feel free to send me a message. If you want to have a conversation about any of this, I would love that. And I also want to just remind you all about the silent retreat that we have coming up in September. We have just a few people that have signed up, so we have a few more spots left, and I would absolutely love to join you. I'm going to be doing a Q&A about the silent retreat for those of you all who are like really like, I don't know if this is for me. Totally understandable. But I would love for you to be there if you have any interest at all. And if you do have any interest, but you're just sort of on the fence, please feel free to reach out to me and we can just have a quick call about it. There is zero pressure, of course, but I just wanted to make sure that you all know about it. I'm actually headed out to the Kindred Forest this weekend for Memorial Day weekend. I'm really excited to spend some time with my son out there. It's just a beautiful space in the Ozarks, and the accommodations are so lovely. And it's just nice to get 24 hours of being in the woods. So, anyway, really would love to have this experience with anyone who is interested. And yeah, so that's it. Signing off. It was wonderful to see you, sort of. And I'll be doing more of these soon. Okay, bye.